Hello, this is Jason Marsden. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but you are listening to the Horror Squad podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Horror Squad Podcast's episode number 394, where tonight we will be talking about 2025's Dangerous Animals. Animals? I don't know. Close
Animals.
enough.
Something
We'll
like
figure it
that.
out.
Animals
Dangerous
dangerous.
Animals, which we all watched together because we were all in Salem together this weekend. We filmed a big portion of our movie, the final episode, the wraparound segment. It was awesome. Steve, Todd, gentlemen, how you doing? Let's talk about this weekend, and everything that transpired.
Doing well, doing well. Friday to Monday for me. I know Steve got in slightly later and left slightly earlier, but it was a loaded weekend, full of fun, full of work, full of multiple angles of everything. And yeah, I counted them up today. I downloaded all the footage. And I was actually wrong. It's not 137 clips. It's more like 160 clips because I forgot about the side stuff I did with our killer guy there. So yeah, it was a ton of stuff, man. We did a ton of work, and I'm really proud of what we did. And everyone stepped up, and are we? Everyone knows who the killer is right now, so I don't need to really be secretive, right? But yeah, Cody came in. He's a big, part of our Discord, and he fucking slayed, dude. He was amazing. He's playing the villain that captures us, and makes us pitch our movies, and he was fucking phenomenal, dude. I was fucking. He hit me with a hammer on accident once, and I'm like, all right, we're doing this. Like, so, it was really fun. I'm really proud of the work we did, and yeah, now I got to edit the fucking thing together, so it's a lot of work, but yeah, of course, hanging out was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys and Cody for the majority of the weekend. But filming, man, we really got down to brass tacks. We
A
filmed
lot.
for quite a long time. We went through it. The paces, we're all sticky from the blood. I personally had even had to experience some pain because of something in the, that happens to me. Yeah, it was really cool, and I can't wait to see it come together.
Yeah.
I was really stressed about this particular portion of the movie because that's the one portion of the movie where we all had to actually be together at the same time. So now that that's done, I feel like more relaxed and ready to just move on and get this thing done. So I'm pretty excited, and I also echo what Todd says. Cody was fucking phenomenal, like really surpassed my expectations. Not that I had low expectations, but yeah, he was fucking phenomenal, and I can't wait for people to see his creepy ass performance.
Yeah, and everyone helped too. It wasn't just us. It was, Sam doing a lot of video, helping a lot. Your friend Jason, his house, Mike. There's just everyone just fucking, stepped up and did a lot of stuff, and we couldn't do it without anybody. So, or without everybody. So, yeah, hella fun.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was awesome. It was an awesome weekend.
Mhm.
We got it done. It was amazing. And we actually had time to hang out, which was great. We watched a bunch of movies, which we will talk about in our watch segment. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode because we're all exhausted from this weekend, but we wanted obviously to get something out for you guys, talk about the filming experience and all that. Yeah, big update. Steve is filming his movie this week. He should be pretty much complete, I think, with his movie this week. And then I am going to be filming in just a few short weeks for mine, and then we'll be 100% done filming. And then it goes to the editing table. So, yeah, I mean, I'd say what, 60, 50, 60% filmed right now?
Um, yeah, it's 25% complete, 50% filmed overall, and
Mhm.
then Steve's got a couple percentages points already filmed. But yeah, we're 50% done.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah, very, very exciting. Yeah, great weekend. Thank you once again to my buddy Jason lending up his house for the weekend, letting us scream and spray blood all over his basement. So thank you. And I'll be back because I'll be filming some of my sections at his house as well in just a few short weeks.
You know what's funny about that is
Um,
that I'm pretty sure you and Steve were both tied up for like 2 hours straight
yeah.
because there's a point where like the way it flows, my character kind of gets in a little bit more freedom,
Yep.
but your guys are
Not
fucking
only tied up, I had my mouth taped
Taped.
for a
gagged.
good two
And
hours. So
and thanks to the our art talented artist. I know Brendan did the initial, and then Michelle finished it off. But
Mhm.
Steve has duct tape over his mouth. We're like, well, we got to duct tape his mouth. The poster says it. So
Right.
he was silenced for like 2 hours and shit. It was hilarious. Plus, it was hot, and you were in a
Yeah.
sweater with your mouth closed, couldn't breathe. So that was fucking
And tied up, so
and
I
tied
could
up.
scratch. I could like, yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
yeah. That's
So
how low budget movie making
That's
is. We
how it
don't have like
works.
a prop guy who can like
Mhm.
keep
Yep.
tying me up every like 5 minutes. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome, gentlemen. Yeah, no, we're just excited to get this movie made. I think this was a massive step, obviously, this weekend for, filming. And, like Steve said, it's the only time the three of us were going to be able to get together. So we were on a very tight window, but we were able to get it done. We actually got way more done than we expected on Saturday. So Sunday was a lot more chill for us, and we were able to sort of hang out a lot more and do a lot. So it was great. It's a great weekend. Once again, thank you to Cody, who drove, I think, 13 hours just to film this for us. So we really cannot thank him enough for just being just amazing this entire weekend for us and doing literally anything we asked of him to do. He was just willing to do anything and everything for us. So, yeah, and I think you might see him again in the future and possibly another movie. But obviously we're gonna focus on this, finishing this first, and then we have so many more ideas though down the road. So we're excited to see, this next sort of chapter in the Horror Squad podcast, and what we can do from here on out. So stick with us. Discord, obviously, we posted some, I think, some behind the scenes pictures of our filming. So if you do want to go and see that, make sure you join our Discord. It's linked over on our Instagram and whatnot. So yeah, if you haven't joined our Discord yet, this is the time, especially if you're interested in the movie. And we signed a bunch of posters this weekend as well. Even Cody signed it, and my buddy Mike, who's going to be performing. Basically, the plan is we're going to have the entire cast of all of our shorts and everything sign those posters, and eventually, obviously, they're going to go out first to our people who bought them through the perks on our Indiegogo, and then any leftovers we will throw up probably, if anyone wants to grab them for sale somewhere or the other. But we'll probably have some, Steve and I will probably have some in October for the Hocus Pocus event too, for people who will be at our Hocus Pocus event in October in Salem in person. We'll probably have some there, as well as we'll be promoting the final episode hard at that point. And yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna have my mask on display, my demon mask, kind of. It'll be the only time there'll be any sort of spoilers for any of the movie. So only a few select of you who come out and might see it will be able to kind of see that. And it'll be pretty cool. But all right, gentlemen, I think that's about it. So why don't we get into the show? We are negating trivia and news for this week. They will be back next week, I promise. So let's get into what watched. We watched a bunch of movies together this weekend, gentlemen. Who wants to start off?
Yeah, we watched 4 total plus TV shows because we watched those curse films and all that shit. But yeah, I'll go first. Debbie Does Demons from 2022. Donald Farmer slam dunk. And this is one Steve and I backed because um, we went through a little phase where we're producing this stuff as a hobby, and it's fun, man. It's fun seeing your name up there. And but anyway, Donald Farmer is like, low budget, it's even lower than our budget filmmaker, and he gets, lots of stuff done. This one, plot wise, I don't even know what it's about because it goes off in so many different tangents that are unnecessary and confusing. But according to Letterbox here, Debbie is the host of a paranormal. Oh, okay, yeah. Debbie is the host of a paranormal ghost hunter show, but can she come to the rescue when 4 friends use a Ouija board to summon a 300-year-old witch? Good luck, Debbie. You're gonna need it. Jessa Flux is like really into this scene, this indie scene. She's a witch and she gets killed or something, and then fast forward 300 years, and like there's this girl that has like a local TV access show. She's like a little horror chick or something, and they like do skits and shit. Meanwhile, someone summoned the demon witch chick back, and they're like, "Hey, that girl on TV can help us." So it's like a Peter Vincent Fright Night kind of situation there. A movie's not great. It's got, it struggles with a lot of basic stuff that all indie films struggle with. So I'm not gonna shit on or anything, but there's some stuff you can control, right? Like costumes, weather them a little bit. That's very easy to do. Like, Joe's gonna have a character that's gonna has to be weathered. It's gonna look like shit. It's just like, this is how it is. Or like the mailman, he got hit by a car. He needs to look like he got ran over by a car, stuff like that. So there's like little stuff that you can correct as any filmmaker. It's really inexcusable. But at the end of the day, he got the project done. It's available for Blu-ray. It's on Tubi, all that shit. So hats off to him. Debbie Does Demons is a solid 1.5 out of 5. What'd you guys think about Debbie Does Demons?
Yeah, this could be my first Donald Farmer movie ever, I think. Oh, well, maybe not.
He did Shark
Did you do?
Exorcist.
Okay, Shark
for Shark
Exorcist.
Week,
Okay,
yeah.
right, okay. I mean, I don't even think we weren't even really planning. We literally only threw this on so we could see Steve and Todd's names
In the credits. Yeah.
in the credits, and then like Steve was like, "Ah, fuck it, well, let's just watch it." And like we couldn't think of anything else to watch or whatever, so we're like, I guess so. Let's do it. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, it's fucking micro budget movie, but like Todd said, like there's stuff that was just felt really, really lazy. Like the camera was out of focus. Like I think he had autofocus on that we mentioned. So like there were things that just felt really, like really, really lazy filmmaking. Also, like the acting was atrocious, and it's like tough because like obviously like we're not actors, but like I feel like at least like we tried to act in like our movies and stuff, whereas these people just really feel like they weren't even like trying. Some of these people, yeah, man, it was not great, for sure. And I think watching this is definitely going to help us, with our movie making, and so I think it was good for watching it for that reason. But I, in good conscience, cannot recommend this movie to anybody. Yeah,
I mean, nudity, guys. Guys that like nudity.
well,
can
there is
recommend it.
right. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of nudity, and it really does feel like a softcore porno, like at times, but it never like gets to the porno part. Just some nudity and stuff. Yeah, right down to the acting too. Honestly, it felt like, But yeah, man, honestly, it's probably a half star. Like in realistically, I just cannot with this one.
So I actually think this is the best of the Donald Farmer
Oh
movies I've
Lord.
seen, but that could also be because we all watched it together and it was funny to watch it together because we're laughing at kind of some of the mistakes and some of the ridiculousness of the scenes and all that stuff. But I still think it was like more enjoyable to watch than a lot of the other ones I've seen, especially Shark Exorcist 2, which I talked about a few weeks ago. There are definitely some super random scenes in this one too, like there are vampires for some reason, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is now the second week in a row in my What Watch I talk about a nun orgy, which apparently is just a fucking thing now. So yeah, maybe I'll go for the trilogy next week, and who knows what movie will have that. So it's super randomly too, because it had nothing to do with the story. Yeah, I gave it 1.5, like Todd. It's still not a great movie, but I definitely had fun watching it. And like I said, it's the best of the bunch. So yeah.
Alrighty. All right, I'll go next. And then the second movie we watched, although Steve left early for this one, so Todd and I can talk about it a lot more. This was actually suggested by Sam. It was 1997's Campfire Tales. I definitely remember watching this one as a kid in my youth. I feel like it was on like HBO a lot or something as growing up. But this is an anthology-based movie. Stars like quite a lot of people who were like big in the 90s. Christine Taylor, Christopher Masterson, Ron Livingston, the dude from Office Space is in here too. I forget his name, but
That is
James.
Ron Livingston.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Ron Livingston. Yeah, and James Marsden also is in this. Yeah, so basically, like the wraparound is like a bunch of kids. They get into like a car accident and they're stranded. So while they're like waiting for help, they start telling stories by a fire. And they're basically like all of your sort of each story is like stories you've heard growing up as a kid. Obviously, there's the hook which is like when you hear the couple is having sex and they hear a scratching on sort of the roof thing, but it's like a different take on that. And then there is also the one about the dogs can lick too, with a girl and a guy's licking her under the bed type thing. And then the last one is The Locket, which I don't want to spoil that one too much, but it's like if you know Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, it's probably one of the most famous versions of one of those stories. But yeah, I mean, to me, like this movie started really, really poorly. It with the first story. The first story was terrible, but I gotta say the rest of it was actually really solid. The wraparound wrapped up very, very nicely. It had a really solid twist, and then the other two stories, which were The People Can Lick 2 and The Locket, were both very, very good and very solid. So yeah, overall, like definitely a solid '90s anthology film, and I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I agree with you. And to say a little bit more about segment one, it was so bad that Steve was like, "I'm just gonna fucking leave." And they took off and missed segment two and three, which were bangers, and then the wraparound at the end was fucking dope, man. I love where it went. But yeah, the dogs or humans can lick two is one of the scariest probably urban legends in my opinion. Like we've seen iterations of it before, but the one they did for this is really effective, especially when we see the guy under the bed and just that whole situation of the dog's licking your hand for comfort, and then now the dog's dead, and this fucker's pretending to be a dog under your bed is insane. So yeah, I agree with you. It started off horribly, ended on a high note, but unfortunately that first segment's still pretty rough, man. So I'm like a 3.5 on it.
Yeah, and I didn't watch it enough to really make a comment, but I will watch it now that I've heard you guys say that the second and third segment are actually good. So the last one that we watched together was, well, other than Dangerous Animals, was 2004's Club Dread, which you can find in Canada on Disney Plus and in the US, I'm assuming Hulu. So Club Dread is the story of this like island retreat that is run by this guy called Coconut Pete, played by Bill Paxton, and also has like employees that are played by like Jordan Ladd and MC Gainey, and it's a bunch of people who go there just to party. And there's a legend that there's somebody that lives in the jungle with a machete and that kills people, and they tell that legend over a campfire. Well, of course, people start dying, and they start like trying to figure out, like, okay, who's causing the killings here, while also trying to maintain the party atmosphere for everyone who's actually attending this like kind of retreat, because it's mostly the employees dying. And then it's basically a whodunit of who's the one that is actually doing the killing, and it kind of leaves you in suspense until near the end. So I've seen this once when it first came out, but it's been a long time. The only thing I remembered really was the killer, and I enjoyed it. It's a really fun murder mystery. The kills are decent. There's a lot of nudity in this one as well. Anytime Bill Paxton is in a movie, I'm gonna enjoy it that much more because he's fucking awesome. And yeah, I had a great time rewatching it. It's one I probably wouldn't have rewatched had you guys not picked it, to be honest. It's just not something that was on my radar. So glad I did. I give it 3.5 stars out of 5.
Yeah, I too hadn't seen this one in a very long time. I remember like growing up enjoying it, but like I wasn't into the horror comedy scene, so like I really didn't like it the first time, and then like the second time I watched it, oh, yeah, it was pretty good. So I was excited to revisit this one and see how it held up. I've always enjoyed Broken Lizard, obviously Super Troopers, Beer Fest. Just love both those movies so much. Yeah, man, overall I definitely enjoyed this one. I think it's a little too long, I think, for its own good. I think they definitely could have tightened it up a little bit, but the comedy in it is great. There's some solid horror. I feel like they could have obviously went a little crazier with some of the horror stuff, but overall, I definitely enjoyed it. I'm like on the fence between a 3 and a 3.5, but man, Bill Paxton as Coconut Pete cracks me up so much that I'm gonna give it a 3.5. It's a really fun time, and it's something I would definitely watch again.
Yeah, why did we pick this one? It was just one of those things we landed on it.
I think we were just like watching nothing but like straight horror, and then I
Mm.
think we were kind of looking for something like lighthearted,
Oh, a
just
little
sort of
fun.
turn your brain off and fun. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't even know who
Uh,
suggested it though, honestly.
I don't remember. Yeah, I mirror everything you guys said. It takes a little bit too long. It focuses too much on the party aspect early on, which there's some good moments in it, but they could have cut a lot of that out because when the horror happens, I think it's really effective, especially towards the end there, and with the killer reveal and all that stuff, and of course Bill Paxton, rest in peace. But I give this one a 3.5 out of 5 because I had fun with it.
All righty. Excellent. And yeah, let's get right into it. It's time for our main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Quick episode. We're tired, so we're just, but we want to get something out for you guys. So we apologize for the quick episode, but we'll be back next week with our full schedule. So let's get into it. 2025's Dangerous Animals, directed by Sean Byrne and starring Josh Houston, Ella Newton, Liam Granke, Jay Courtney, and Hassie Harrison as our main character, Zephyr. Plot: a savvy and free-spirited surfer is abducted by a shark-obsessed serial killer. Held captive on his boat, she must figure out how to escape before he carries out a ritualistic feeding to the sharks below. That pretty much gives away the entire damn movie on that one time.
Spoilers.
No kidding.
Spoilers.
But Todd, why don't you dive a
Oh.
little deeper
Oh,
into Dangerous Animals?
all right. And 0 notes were taken for this movie. Did you guys take notes at all? No? Awesome. We're going in it. Well, fuck it. We'll do it live. Yeah, so this movie starts out, dude. We're in Australia, right? And this couple, they go out to this boat with this very like charismatic dude played by Jay Courtney, whatever fucking pronounce his name. And he's like, "Yeah, come out, you see some shacks and shit like that." Of course, the girl's a little scared. She's like, "I don't want to do it." And this guy, Mr. Courtney's like, "Yeah, man, this would be fine." His name's Tucker, right? Is that what his fucking name is? Tucker's like, yeah, he convinces her because he's so charismatic. That's gonna be a good time, right? So they go out in the water, they start having fun. Uh-oh. Jack Courtney's character, though, he's evil, and he has this obsession with sharks, and he feeds his victims to the shark via like a crane that he dips them into the water, and he records it for his personal snuff films, right? So it's pretty fun. Then after that happens, we follow along with this young girl. She's like, free spirit. She's a little hippie chick. She's like, nothing's gonna weigh me down. I'm not gonna work in an office. I'm gonna live in my van and surf, dude. And she meets this hunky young dude, and it's like, I surf too. Like, let's talk about it. And then they fuck, dude, in her van. And she's like, you know what? I'm not gonna be tied down. She takes off, and he's like, oh man, I liked her so much. And then, she, lo and behold, gets captured by the shark guy. And then this fucking kid, he's so like smitten by her. He launches this investigation to try to figure out where she is and try to help her or whatever because the police don't, take him seriously and all that stuff. So yeah, obviously first time watch. I loved the killer. His performance was fucking awesome. Like I was like, oh man, this guy's charismatic and a little freaky at the same time. He was really good. I didn't really like the lead though, man. Like I didn't connect with her at all. And then the male lead, the boyfriend, the budding boyfriend that's like looking for her, I didn't give two shits about him. Like fucking die, dude. Like get the fuck out of here. Plus, like it makes zero sense that he's so in love with this chick. You banged her and she smashed and dashed on you. And now you're fucking going all over Australia looking for her. What are you doing, you fucking dweeb? You're a handsome guy. You're ripped, and your mom's rich. Go fucking get a girlfriend, you fucking loser. But yeah, I had a lot of fun watching it with you guys. Love the killer. Didn't love the execution, and this movie definitely suffered from some awful, awful CGI. What about you, fellas? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in total agreement with you pretty much about everything you said there, Todd. Yeah, man, I overall I think it's really fun. Like the villain, fantastic. He is easily the highlight of the entire movie. Like amazing performance, definitely gonna be like a contender for one of the best male performances of the year. I think we all kind of agreed on that. But yeah, man, I think everything like on the boat is pretty fun and solid, but yeah, man, like I think it suffers from like almost like not being believable that this guy would be, they've known each other. It was like a one night stand type thing they've known each other for 7 to 8 hours. And then he's like super invested, in her after that. I mean, I guess it could be plausible, but for me, I just wasn't really going with it that like much. I feel like it should have just been like a couple that's been together for a while or something like that. And it would have like the plot wouldn't have changed at all, but there would have been more of a connection there that would have made sense to me rather than this. But I did like our main character Zephyr. I felt like she was pretty good. She was a pretty badass, and her and the villain like had a pretty good back and forth. But there's definitely some shit in here that just didn't seem, plausible at times. I think it's really cool though, having like a shark serial killer, a guy obsessed with sharks. I thought that was cool, and it was something very different. So I definitely enjoyed that part. So yeah, overall I enjoyed it, but I definitely think it could have been like a top 10 for me had some things were a little different. Obviously, it definitely suffered from the budget too. Like, had they had a bigger budget, I think those shark effects would have looked, a lot better. So I guess I can't 100% fault them for that. But like, man, just like do something different, right? Right, rather than do some of these awful digital effects, including digital blood, which to me is unforgivable.
Yeah, I feel about the same lines as you guys. Jai Courtney is so terrifying as this killer. I love the little like trophy collection of like hair strands and videos that he keeps of each killing because that's a big part of his process is that he films each of the feedings to the sharks, of the women, I guess, and men as well that he kidnaps. So I thought that was cool. I really liked seeing the first couple, like the one that we see at the beginning that kind of shows everything like that. I think you're right. I think it would have been better if it was an established couple because even though I like Joe, also like Zephyr, I think she had a really interesting kind of vibe to her and the way that she kind of was against Jai Courtney's character, Tucker, was interesting. The boyfriend, I couldn't at fucking all. I couldn't. The whole movie, all I was waiting for was for him to die, and I just couldn't believe for 1 second that he would go to those lengths for someone that he had known basically, like you said, 8 hours. It's possible, sure, but it was just he went way too far for that. Like he fell head over heels for this girl. The effects, though, holy shit, like almost unforgivably bad. Like there's a scene near the beginning where he's fishing. Jai Courtney's character is fishing, and it's like this fish. No joke, it looked like a fucking DOS fish or like PS1 type fish. It was ridiculously bad and completely unneeded. You really did not need to see that fish on screen. Like he could just be fishing, like it would have been fine. But for some reason, they decide to do that. And a little bit of a spoiler, but I mean, you're listening to the review the scene where he gets eaten by a shark, the shark essentially jumps out of the water with him in the mouth, and he's like waving to the it's fucking so bad, dude. It's so bad. It's like those bad shark movies bad, like Shark Exorcist or Sharks of the Corn. Like it is on that level of bad, and that for a movie like this is super unforgivable. So yeah, this movie disappointed me, I guess, is what I would say about it.
All right, well, let's rate it. That's yeah, the first kill we see, which there aren't enough kills in this movie, man. There aren't enough. Like we got a
Agreed.
really like Shark Night is a low budget film, but it looks way better than this one, right?
Hmm.
But anyway, like the first kill where he just stabs the dude in the throat, I'm like, oh fuck, like that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's terrifying that premise of him slowly lowering him in chummed baited waters and just recording them as they get eaten, and then he watches it later and you hear him screaming and shit in the background. Like that is a fucking great premise, man. But holy crap, can we focus on it instead of jumping from Zephyr's like cat and mouse? When she's in that situation on the boat, I really like her. But then outside of that, I'm like, oh, pretentious, look at me, kind. But when they're on the boat, fucking cool. But like the problem is we keep leaving the boat and going to the fucking douchebag. Doesn't he have a fucking job? He's like going like traveling from beach to beach and the police stations and oh my God. It just I get guys and girls both like become obsessed, but like, oh my, really, bro? Like it made zero sense.
This was obsessed to the point of getting creepy. Like this was a
Yeah.
creepy dude, like he's constantly messaging her, he's stalking her van, he's looking at fucking um uh
Oh,
like
traffic cams.
like traffic cams and
Dude,
stuff
give
to
me a
find her
fucking
van.
break on the traffic cams,
Yeah.
man.
It's like unbelievably fucking stalkerish and creepy. So yeah. And she
Yeah.
says no. For the record, she fucking says like basically stop bothering me.
Yeah.
And he still pushes on. So fuck that dude, man.
Fuck him. Even though he kind of saved the day.
I forgot about the traffic The traffic cam
Which
thing.
it wasn't a traffic cam, to
It
be
was a
fair, it
wave
was a
cam.
wave
Right,
cam.
wave
But
cam.
really,
Yeah.
those wave cams have the fucking CIA technology to
Wave cam
zoom
that
in on stickers.
dude,
Like,
and
what's
those
going
like
on?
and if it's like a live wave cam, there's no way you'd be able to rewind back like whatever 24, 48 hours. Like I
No.
just no, like I
And why
usually
is the
those
wave cam so far away that they
It's
can see
across
the
the
goddamn
street,
road?
Steve.
You know?
It's across the street. What if a fucking a UPS truck blocks the camera for 3 hours? Like, what are you doing?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some really man, and then like I mean, we'll get into it, but the ending gets so fucking. There's
Oh
some really
God.
fucking corny, cheesy shit in here too, where
Oh
it
God.
just like really made me roll my eyes. But I want to get the. I mean, the serial killer part though is so cool. Like I fucking loved how he's like obsessed with filming it on like an old camera that records on
Tape.
VHSs
Yeah.
so he can watch them on his like old TV on the boat and stuff like that. Like I don't know why he's obsessed with filming on tape. He's not a digital guy apparently, but I also like that he's like cuts a strand of the hair so then like he opens, kind of like a creep tapes thing, but he like has like all of these things. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like do you think are you happy that we didn't get like a backstory about this guy? Like he obviously like owns this sort of Shark Tours thing, but like how long's he been doing this? What like set him over the edge? Has he always been a fucking psychopath like his whole life? Or like I yeah, like I guess like not knowing makes it scarier, right? But like also I'm extremely curious like what this guy's story is too.
I well, I hope we get a prequel that
I
fixes some of the stuff because I want to see him again. Um,
don't I don't think we will, but
because it didn't do well. But
yeah,
I thought we had a little bit of something about his whatever his beginnings. No,
I don't
am I
recall him.
misremembering that? Hmm.
We
I
don't,
don't
but something I'd be interested to know is, and they touch on it a little bit at the beginning, is how many fishing charters does he do where he doesn't kill people?
right.
Because he seems to have like a line of questions to the people who come onto the boat, which makes him determine whether or not he could get caught. Because he'll ask you, like, as a joke almost, like, does anyone know you're here? Because if they do, it's like, yeah, I've had this plan for years, and blah, blah, blah. He probably won't kill you because it would lead right to him. Whereas
Mhm.
when they say, no, this was kind of a last minute thing we just heard about, and then it's like, oh, okay, let's do this. So I'm really curious about his process, but yeah, he was a little underdeveloped, and maybe that was a good thing because it made him creepier. And Todd said something before that really resonated, and that's they spend way too much time going back to shore, which made
Right.
no fucking sense. I loved when they're out at sea because there's nowhere for, the girls on the boat to hide from, and he was just like basically a maniac on that boat. But he constantly made reasons to go back to the. He has to go to a new fucking tape deck. Like, okay, let's go back to shore again. And yeah, and there's scenes where like he's feeding the girls that he has tied up, and you don't know what he's gonna do. Like, is the sandwich spiked with something? Is the drink spiked with something? And you never know what he's thinking. And that was the most interesting part about this movie because Jai Courtney really sells it, but no, they fucking constantly like break basically what's the best part about this movie.
Yeah, everything on the boat was fucking awesome, and I agree. They should. I think they could have just did a whole movie, which is like a cat and mouse of her like on the boat with the guy, maybe like occasionally going back, but like he could have had like they could have stayed with that first girl that dies. Like the two of them like could have been together a lot longer, right? And they could have kind of had like a nice back and forth rather than constantly going back to land. And I mean, I say maybe eliminate the boyfriend character altogether and maybe just have like a group of friends on this fishing charter. And then like you can dispose of these guys like fairly quickly, and then it's like the two girls that like have survived and like just completely negate going back to land. And I think you could have had a solid 80 to 90-minute movie just with that. And it probably would have been better, honestly.
Totally agree. Totally agree, man. You start with an opening kill that's not related to them at all.
Yep. Yeah.
Then go
Keep
to
keep
like
that intro.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But then, have a establishing scene, why they're on Australia, why they're going on the fishing trip, having, 20 minutes of that. Then we get to the boat, there's your movie.
Yep.
And even have the girl and the guy or the two girls or three girls, what the fuck it is, but keep it on the boat because we love the boat stuff, man.
Yep.
And
Ah,
yeah, even with the girl that they kill pretty early on with that Zephyr has to witness, like I think Steve, someone you missed right now, but yeah, why didn't we get more of that? Like that would have been cool because Zephyr's like the tough one, the other girl's kind of the scared one. Like let's play on that a little bit.
yeah, I mean, have like a few girlfriends or whatever. And then
Yeah,
also, like, had it been someone connected to her, it probably would have been even more devastating, right? Like, be
right.
like, wow, she's watching her best friend rather than just a complete stranger she doesn't know getting it's still, disturbing, but, had it been there some sort of connection there, it would have been even stronger. I feel like, but man, I fucking loved when she oh man, that part is still makes me cringe thinking about it. When he has her handcuffed, she breaks her thumb and then eats it
Fucking
Oh,
off.
she bites it off.
jeez.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh,
that'd be
that
so painful.
that was great. And we needed, I don't know, just like more stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, I think we're all in agreement. Just more boat, less fucking land bullshit.
And then less corny as fuck ending.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess
Ugh.
let's get into that whole fucking thing. Like,
Oh gosh. I mean,
man,
so the
yeah,
guy
go for it.
manages, yeah, the guy manages to fucking figure it out and gets on the boat and he gets captured and yada yada yada. Now they're both stuck on the boat and her whole thing, right, was like, I'm a free spirit, and his whole thing was like, I'm a like, corporate boy, but I like to surf too, and that's why he's so enamored with her because she's a little different. And then some point it's established that like there's nothing for me on land, so I live on the waves. And then that leads to our little fucking corny line where that guy's dying. She's like, don't die. I know what I need, and it's you, or something dumb as fuck like that. And it's like, oh my word.
Like we said, they've like known each other for 7 hours, and like
Yeah.
all of a sudden, there's this whole fucking like extreme love story. Like, give me a break. Like, oh my God, I just like the cheese and corniness of that entire like end monologue thing. It was like it didn't make any sense. Like I said, make them an established couple. Like they've been dating for a month, like even months, I would go with, but a 7 hour couple, why? Like, did that seem so important, I guess, to the director or whoever wrote this story that they had to have just met and then they have this like extreme emotional connection in like a 7 hour period?
Well, he did. She didn't give a fuck about him
Right, right. Well, no, she did though at the
until
end.
she
Yeah.
killed he rescued her. Yeah.
Right.
And the fact to me that that fucking dude lived, I actually lowered my score because of
Oh
that.
yeah, he should
Because
have fucking died, dude.
yeah, he was like stabbed in the stomach, I think multiple times. No, that fucking guy should have died. Zephyr should have just kept going on. No, no, he lived, and I was like, yeah, that's a automatic fucking half star deduction. It just, I hated the fucking ending so much.
Yeah.
If there was going
Along
to
with
be a
the
story,
awful
yeah, if there was going to story
digital
where
effects.
the killer like wins, this was it for me. Like I think Jai Courtney should have somehow come out on top,
Yeah.
unexpectedly.
That
And
would have been
yeah, I
cool.
think that would have been better. And I like Zephyr and everything, but it just that was for this particular story they were telling. I think he should have won because I hate that couple so much.
Or even like, I mean, I know it's like so cliche, but even like having him somehow survive, like maybe like, oh, it looked like he got eaten by sharks rather than fucking the shark jumping up in the air and fucking catching him with the awful effects. Like
You
maybe
didn't like
like,
him waving to the crowd? He literally
no,
waves to the crowd.
I
We're the
didn't see
crowd.
that. I
Yeah.
missed that part.
Unless it's him shaking him, he
I
holds
was,
up his arm and it waves back and forth.
I was just laughing at how awful the effect,
Ugh.
like that effect looked. But yeah, man, like I don't know, like had like okay, he falls in and it looks like oh well, there's no way, and then like he gets out and leave it open and leave it up for a sequel, which would might have been cool. But yeah, man, instead you just get this like super corny like send off, and yeah, honestly it lowered the score for me as
Uh,
well. Like
one more fucking thing about the ending that pisses me off. So they get rescued by a party boat, and this
that's
party
right.
boat is seen a few times in the film as being not too far, not super far away, but like pretty far from where he does his killings. Man, there ain't no way that he would do the killings in the same spot, knowing this is in the party boat's
Fair.
route. Party boats will have the same route probably every single night because it's like a structure, it's a business. They go out to the specific spot in the sea. They probably have their party. They come back. No, he would move in a place that he would for sure not get caught, But nope, he goes right near the goddamn party
Like the
boat so
deep
that it
sea,
can
maybe.
anywhere. Like, but that's not in the fucking, the path of this boat that's always going to be there. That made me, oh, fucking hell, this goddamn
And we
movie.
saw that boat so many fucking times.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah.
a joke at
He
that
know
point.
he
Like, oh,
knows
there
it
it
was
is
there.
again. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
Ugh.
and
And then of course it comes back for him.
of
It's
course, yeah, exactly. And I think what disappointed me the most is I'd heard so many good things about this movie beforehand that I had high expectations going in, and that might be on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it just unfortunately didn't live up to them for me.
Yeah. No, same. Yeah. I was expecting this honestly to be a top 10 contender, honestly, going in based off all of the positive. But all right. Let's get into rating it, I guess, gentlemen. I think we covered everything, unless you guys got anything else. Okay.
No,
All right. I'll start us off then. Yeah, man. I mean, the movie's not bad. Like, don't get me wrong. It definitely has some very fun moments. Everything on the boat is pretty solid. It's just some really just bad choices I think were made with some of the writing choices, along with just the unforgivable to me digital effects that could have been done with some camera tricks better, or just, throwing real blood in the water rather than some of the digital blood. So for me, this is the weakest of the director's other. He's also done The Loved Ones and The Devil's Candy, which are two movies I really, really enjoyed. And to me, this is the weakest of the three that I've seen, but it's still decent. Like, is it something I would watch again? Yeah, probably. But, it's not something that I would like highly recommend to people. If you're a fan of shark movies, I think you'll definitely get some enjoyment out of this. But unfortunately, like coming out of this, I was a 3.5, but after talking about it and letting it sit, I'm going to lower it to a 3. Just because I think that some of these choices that were made were kind of unforgivable, and knocks it down a little bit. But I'd say definitely worth a one-time watch, for sure. And I think other people might enjoy it more than us, honestly.
yeah, it looks like they are based on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mirror everything Joe said. Jai Courtney, all my points are to him and for the concept. So I'm giving it. I'm at a 3.5 as well, going out of it, and I'm gonna keep it at that just because the concept is really cool. Plus, Jai Courtney is amazing in it, and yeah, this is his weakest out of the three films that I've seen of his. So, but yeah, super excited to see what else is from him because he's a damn good director, and I'm happy people are liking it. Obviously, it just wasn't for me because of CGI and the corny fucking storyline.
yeah, same thing as you guys. I was at a 3.5 until that fucker lived, so deducted half a point to 3. 3 being my final score, just because although I did like Jai Courtney is like great, it's my second favorite male performance of the year. So he's a runner up there, and it
Oh,
just
Who's your first?
Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, 'cause the dual
Uh,
role I thought was fucking fantastic.
Jai Courtney's better.
Well, that's it. It's like your opinion, man. Yeah. Anyway, so it's just there are too many problems that I can't overlook with this one, but it's worth watching. I do agree with that. Jai Courtney's performance alone, the concept is cool, and there's some great kills. There's some really cool gory moments. I mean, you see a girl half ripped out, and it's you see a leg like just kind of floating there, and they do a good job with some of those things, but some other things are fucking unforgivable. So 3 out of 5.
Alrighty. And what do our friends over at Letterbox have to say with this one? They're right around us. It's currently sitting at a 3.1 out of 5 over on Letterboxd. Alrighty. Well, that is going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Steve, what do we got next week?
We're going for one of Todd's picks, and that is 2008's Quarantine, which at least in Canada is on Netflix. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to rewatching this one. I watched it when it first came out, and yeah, it should be a fun discussion.
Yeah, that's one I haven't seen in a minute, so I'm excited. Yeah, so I'll probably try to watch Rec too if I can, because of course, based off of this was an American remake of Quarantine, of course, off of the what is it, Spain,
Spanish.
I think?
Yeah,
Spanish,
Spain,
yeah, the original. So yeah, so check it out, the American remake Quarantine, starring Jennifer Carpenter, for next week. And I should also program note, we are going to be doing Weapons. I know Weapons comes out this weekend. We are going to do Weapons the following week. So go and check out Weapons as well and get ready for our review in just a couple of weeks. But Quarantine for next week. Alrighty. Once again, that is going to wrap it up. So don't forget, follow us on our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads. Just search the Horror Squad Podcast. You can email us anytime, thehorrorsquadpodcast@gmail.com. But you already know it. The best way to keep up with the podcast is our Discord. Tons of channels to sift through over there. We got Movie Club every month hosted by Steve. Which, Steve, any updates on Movie Club?
We're going to do it at the end of the month. I haven't decided what I'm doing. I'm trying something, but until I figure it out, I don't want to announce it yet.
All right.
But yeah, I'm going to put up the vote shortly, so check it out on Discord.
Excellent. Yeah. So how do you join the Discord if you haven't already? It's linked over on our Instagram, or just send us an email or a DM, and we'll get you a link to join that Discord. Totally and completely free to join. Amazing community over there. Updates on our movie, The Final Episode, on there as well. Everything. So please join the Discord. Also, don't forget important dates. October 2nd through the 5th in Salem, Massachusetts. We will be there with the cast of Hocus Pocus. It's just a bunch of Halloween.com for tickets and all details for that. Also, don't forget, leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. That helps spread the word for the podcast. Or you can buy merch, tpublic.com, the Horror Squad Podcast. Everything pretty much I've talked about is linked over on our Instagram once again. And I think that's about it, folks. So we'll see you next week for Quarantine. Bye.
All right.